What's up, baseball fans? Frank from Frank's Card Corner here. Today we're going to take a look at my 1986 Topps baseball set. This was the 7th set I collected as a kid back in the 80s. Not one of the more popular sets of the decade, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at the set stats. 792 cards as they've been following for the last 4 years since 1982. The key cards in here are the Cecil Fielder rookie card, Len Dykstra rookie card, Harold Reynolds rookie card, and Vince Coleman's rookie card, and there's a lot of Hall of Famers in here. Let's take a look at the set. Start off with the California Angels. You see Hall of Famer Rod Carew there. You can still buy these cards really cheap, and there's still plenty of cases of them left around. As you see, Reggie Jackson there in the bottom middle, George Hendrick. I didn't buy too many of them when they were around. There just wasn't really a lot to go for in this set, but I did build the set within a couple of months. On to the Houston Astros, Glenn Davis. That's Glenn Davis's rookie card, I believe. You see Nolan Ryan in the middle. Mike Scott, who had a great year that year. 300 strikeouts. On to the Oakland A's. Steve Henderson, Tommy John, Carney Lansford, Dave Kingman. Simple design, white borders with black stripe at the top, with showcasing the company. Showcasing the team's name, I should say. There's the Cecil Fielder rookie card as we look at the Blue Jays. And moving on to the Atlanta Braves. Chris Chambliss, Bob Horner, Dale Murphy. Murphy was a big popular guy back then. 2 MVPs back in 82 and 83. Bruce Sutter, Hall of Famer. And on to the Milwaukee Brewers. See Raleigh Fingers there, Hall of Famer. Cecil Cooper. Paul Molitor, another Hall of Famer. Ben Ogilvy. I believe this was Teddy Higuera's rookie year too. May have passed his card. There's Robin Yount in the top middle. As we move on to the St. Louis Cardinals, managed by Whitey Herzog. There's the Vince Coleman rookie at the top. Terry Pendleton, big star player back then. Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer. There's John Tudor, great left-handed pitcher back then. On to the Chicago Cubs, we see Jody Davis. There's Ryan Sandberg and Lee Smith, Hall of Famers. Taking a look at the Dodgers now. There's Oral Hershiser, his second-year card. Pedro Guerrero. Alejandro Pena. And Bob Welch and Fernando Valenzuela. Welch went on to be a great starter for the Oakland A's during their World Series year. And you see Tim Raines with the Expos. Moving on to the San Francisco Giants, managed by Roger Craig. Atlee Hammaker. On to the Cleveland Indians. Brooke Jacoby, good hitter for them back then. Mel Hall, who went on to the Yankees. Julio Franco, who played till he was 50 years old. I think he still holds the record for the oldest player to hit a home run. Not sure. And on to the Seattle Mariners. So we see Mark Langston. Langston was a good strikeout pitcher back then. Harold Reynolds. There's a Harold Reynolds rookie card. On to the world champion New York Mets of that year. My New York Mets. Dwight Gooden. George Foster, Lenny Dykstra's rookie card. There's Keith Hernandez, Jesse Orosco, Mookie Wilson, who we all know was part of that great play with, I should say unfortunate play with Bill Buckner in the World Series. And on to the Baltimore Orioles, we see Eddie Murray. There's Cal Ripken in the top middle. Moving on to the San Diego Padres, there's Tony Gwynn. One of the greatest hitters of the decade, of that time actually, all time actually. There's some pretty staggering stats on Tony Gwynn if you look around the internet. On to the Philadelphia Phillies. I believe this was Steve Carlton's last year with them. There's Mike Schmidt. Ozzie Virgil. And on to the Pittsburgh Pirates. This was Bond's rookie year, but he was in the traded set. He wasn't in the base set. And on to the Texas Rangers. Larry Parrish, pretty good home run hitter for them back then. On to the Boston Red Sox, who the Mets played in the World Series. There's Bill Buckner and Roger Clemens, Wade Boggs. Some great players on this team. There's Dwight Evans. Many people believe he's a borderline Hall of Famer. There's Jim Rice. And on to the Cincinnati Reds, managed by Pete Rose. I believe this was his last year as a player. He was a player manager on this team at this time. There's Mario Soto. And on to the Kansas City Royals. You see George Brett right there in the top middle. Hal McRae. Brett Saberhagen's second year card. Saberhagen had some great years with the Royals. On to the Tigers, managed by Sparky Anderson. Sparky managed the Tigers for a long time. There's Kirk Gibson in the upper right. Jack Morris, top left, Hall of Famer. Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker, part of the great double play shortstop combination during this time. And on to the Minnesota Twins. We see Kirby Puckett in the middle, Kent Herbeck. Twins had some great power on the team back then. There's Timmy Tuffle, who would be traded to the Mets and go on to win the World Series with them this year. On to the Chicago White Sox. Here's Ozzie Guillen's rookie card. Ron Kittle had a good couple of years. Tom Seaver, top middle. Billy Martin on to the Yankees. Ken Griffey Sr. There's Ricky Henderson and Phil Niekro. Don Mattingly, one of the hottest cards of the decade. And we finish off the set getting into the record breakers. And here come the All-Stars for the National League and American League, representing the 1985 All-Star team. And here's a small Turn Back the Clock series and a Pete Rose series of all his cards. And we finish off with the checklists. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Frank from Frank's Card Corner. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos.